call meeting to order at 7:29.
Okay.
Jerome, are you available?
Jerome is theoretically in the building, but in his stead,
Take it.
I'll do it. Trustee Rubin. Here. Trustee Mosier.
Here.
Trustee Robbins.
Here.
I am trustee Cassell McNally. Also in the building, we have administrator, Larisha, and we also have, clerk Jerome Hoynes on the way. We have a quorum and we are ready for business.
Okay. You stand for the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, that would normally be a supervisor's report. But our supervisor,
She's-
is she here?
Yes.
Yes. I'll keep it very brief. I was able to represent Township over at the Niles Township Fun Run this year for their food pantry. They did an amazing job. They run their school supplies program differently. So their foundation runs their school supplies program, and they also do it via gift cards, but they raise all of the funds. And obviously it's a much larger number of gift cards that they have to raise for. So they had a very successful event. So proud to represent the township. Also checked out the new Jocelyn space over on 41. Please check it out. It is absolutely incredible. And it was so wonderful to see what they're doing for the community. And it was also a good reminder of their employment work, the employment services, in addition to low cost counseling programs, because the employment services are available whether or not you are dealing with a mental health crisis. So that's important to note, especially with the end of the Career Resource Center. Other than that, just lots of neat. Oh, and we opened our first mini food pantry over at the Winnetka Library. And we're very excited for that. We're, working through the logistics. Within the first week, all the initial food was already gone. So we did have to add one run over and refill it, and that's how it's going to be. Hopefully, as the community learns about it, it'll become more of a give and take model, and we'll be able to replicate at the other libraries. That's it.
Thank you. Okay, I would ask for approval of the minutes from the board meeting of May 14th, 2024.
I actually had a correction.
Okay.
On the bottom of the second page. Wait a minute, I'm sorry. I apologize. In the middle of the first page, with respect to the supervisor's report, I have some language that I would like to add.
Absolutely.
And Jerome, I will send this to you.
Hey,
I've got it all written down or typed up and I will send it to you. But I'd like to delete the last period and put in place, comma, including
Sure.
annual township meeting, power of attorney event for high school seniors, DMV event, special needs trust event, and annual shredding and recycling event. Supervisor Eisenberg participated in the community outreach board for Ascension Health. She also noted that our wellness fair may become less frequent due to declining interest, but that we will likely continue to hold and or sponsor an annual township vaccine clinic. But with that, I don't have any other changes.
Well, I'd be delighted to have that, and thank you. If you send it to me, I'll
I will.
put it in tonight and then.
Yep.
Thank you.
Does anybody want to make a motion with the amendment as proposed? So moved.
Second,
All those in favor?
I,
Any opposed? Unanimous. I'll let you catch up and then you're on.
There is no report.
Okay.
Say that we have a meeting, maybe Gail mentioned it, we have a meeting on Thursday at the Townships of Cook County, and I'm serving as secretary for that board. And it should be a very exciting meeting. The education seminar stuff is really very good. So, Gail, will I see you on Thursday?
Sadly not, I'll be in DC, so. Obviously, any trustees who would like to go, we're happy to, sponsor you, and then you can report back. It was a lot of fun last time. And they're getting much more informative.
Well, I remember last year Danielle and Gail and I had a very good time, and they've ramped up and they've learned every year, making it better and better. So I'll be going again. It's just really good stuff.
Cool. Okay, we'll look to James Howard to do the financial report.
All right, good evening, everybody. If you allow me to share my screen, I can pop on the financial report for the 2 months ended April 3rd, or I'm sorry, May 31.
Sure. I have not done this before. Just give me a sec.
Yep.
I am making you a host.
Excellent. All right, let me just make this a little bit bigger. So again, we're 25% into our fiscal year, and we can walk through just some of the highlights in terms of revenue. Again, half the tax monies are in, 1.9 million, 54% of what we budgeted. That's unchanged from last month. Replacement taxes in at about 30%, 28,000 received there. Interest continues to be the bright spot, about 32,000 at 63% of the budget, and the Fed should come out tomorrow and probably not move on rates, meaning rate cuts are coming, but they're probably not coming till closer to the end of the year. Outside of that, some passport fees in at 28%, about $8,400, and then some other income. So we're at about 2 million received on 3.7 million in revenue budgeted. We're at 54%, 25% of the way through the year. Again, we're typically top heavy as we'll take in taxes in the beginning of our fiscal year, and then hopefully this year there'll be more on time and come in October, November. Expenditure-wise, no agency program expenditures to date. That is coming. But outside of that, you can see right now we look pretty good across most of our expenditure categories and projects at about 19%. Contractual services a little bit high here in terms of where we are in the year, but again, sometimes that's just the timing of those payments. We're at 35% there. Building town hall expenses at about 49%, and then we're at 34% in financial assistance. All in though, looking really good. 536,000 to date, 3.8 million is the budget, so we're at 14% in total. Nice surplus, of course, with half the money in, we're going to look good. 1.4 million. We started with 1.8, so we're at about 3.7 million in ending fund balance, and for us, that pretty much equates to cash. If we go down into the distribution, you're going to see property taxes make up 96% of the pie, replacement tax 1.4, interest 1.6, passports 0.4, other 0.1. And on the expenditure side, it's mainly financial assistance right now at 22%, pantry 7, personnel 21, elected officials 2, projects 19, contractual services 14, assessor 3.5, buildings, town hall at about 11. Right now, revenues over expenditures, that's typical for us as we start the year with those tax monies received. I won't go through all the detail. Obviously, no agency payouts to date. That is coming right around the corner here. So you'll see that increase quite a bit as we'll have a big cash layout coming for those programs. But outside of that, everything else pretty much on track in terms of where we are in the year. And as we look at cash, about 3.3 million across all accounts. We probably should look at moving some more money to Schwab. That's our managed account with Sawyer Faldudo. As short-term treasuries are earning over 5%, so we can get pretty good bang for the buck for a short period of time. And again, I don't think we're going to have to lock in terms of some longer maturities until probably towards the fall into those winter months. That pretty much concludes my presentation for tonight. I'd be happy to take any questions from the board.
Are there any questions from anybody? Pretty straightforward. Thank you, James.
Thank you, James.
Well, you're welcome.
And just to note that the 21st, June 21st is that agency lunch. So if anybody wants to come, those are always a good time. Agencies love getting our check.
Okay. We'll down to the verification of claims, which is my area, so we want to verify the claims for the period of May 1st, 2024 to May 31st, 2024, as indicated in the financial report received this 11th day of June, 2024. Take a motion to approve, verify the claims.
So moved.
Second. It's financial, so we have to take a voice vote.
And I have a question. Is Gail a voting member at this meeting?
She is.
Yeah, perfect. Okay,
If you guys, just as a point of order, if you guys could vote to allow me to vote pursuant to the remote policy.
I would make a motion to permit Supervisor Eisenberg to vote consistent with our virtual attendance policy.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Thank you.
Okay, see, I just wanted to do it right. Okay, so, Supervisor Eisenberg.
Yeah.
Trustee Cassell McNally,
Yes.
trustee Robbins,
Yes.
trustee Moser,
Yes.
and trustee Rubin.
Yes.
Okay, next would be an assessor report, but Jan indicated this morning that she was out of town and there wouldn't be any report. Things are slow at the moment and we'll probably ramp up as we get further into the summer. Public comments, there being no members of the public present, is there anyone online who would have a comment from the public? Being none, there are no public comments. Now, we have a discussion about the assessor, but since she's not here, we'll table that.
Yeah, we're gonna have to table that.
Okay, so we will table the assessor IGA discussion and approval until the next board meeting. Do we need a motion to do that? Or is it enough just to table it?
Yeah.
Okay, I would entertain a motion to table. So moved. Is there a second?
Second.
And all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone
Aye.
opposed? Okay, so we will table that for the next board meeting. New business and Neutral Township Service Provider Agreement with Angel Fund. Did everybody have a chance to read it?
We are also tabling that, correct, Gail?
Yeah, so I'll make that motion to table.
Okay, well, entertain a motion to table the Neutral Township Provider Agreement with Angel Fund. So moved.
Second.
Just as a point of reference, Gail, I read it, I'm curious, we'll bring it up the next time, but I'm curious if we're creating the proper relationship. It seems to me that the arrangement should be between the township and the food pantry, not the township and the Angel Fund, because the Angel Fund is more than just the food pantry, but the food pantry is not more than the Angel Fund. I don't know if we make a 501c3 out of the food pantry, but I do want it, when we discuss it next time, that is something I think we should do, thoroughly explore. That being said, are there any other comments? If not, we'll move on to the acknowledgement of staff reports. Are there any questions or comments about the staff reports this month?
We have to vote on the motion to table the.
Oh, I apologize. I apologize, we have to have.
It was moved in second.
It was moved in second. All those in favor of tabling the discussion on the provider agreement with Angel Fund, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous, aye. Okay, now we'll move on to the staff reports. Any comments or information anybody would like to share? I saw something. So,
I wanted to make a comment regarding Brian's report. I was trying to brainstorm a little bit regarding peer jury. And the fact that there have been no new cases for the last 3 months, and yet we have new jurors awaiting orientation and training. So I was trying to figure out a way that we could keep this in place and have it continue to be a meaningful experience for those members of our youth population who want to be youth jurors, but might not always have the experience of doing that. So I was thinking that it might be an interesting idea to consider having guest speakers and discussions for the months where there are no new cases or follow-up cases, such as we could have ADR specialists, we could have kind of hypotheticals, role-playing, reviews of past cases, surveys of, you know, kind of long-term outcomes, things of that nature, so that if we are going to continue to have this program, it is a meaningful program and not just, you know, nothing new. So I know that, you know, unfortunately, Elliot, you're going to be leaving us in not too long, but it's something that I think is worth exploring, and I'm happy to put this down in writing and, you know, shoot it to you and to Brian. But it's, I hate for the people that, because I was one of these kids that would have wanted to do this, and I would want it to be a meaningful experience for those people who do want this. So it's just something that I wanted to pull from Brian's report.
And I could say, Kate, that we already do the training, and we also do, on months when we don't have new cases, sometimes we'll do role play.
Mhm.
And we'll actually, we'll have people serve as youth advocates, people serve as offenders, people serve as police officers, and the jurors will actually, we have cases that we use.
Mhm.
So we do that some of the months that we have no cases at all.
Mhm.
In the summer months, when we don't have any cases, unless we're training new jurors, we probably won't have them show up, but guest speakers are a wonderful idea. It's always good to hear from people, in law enforcement.
Mhm.
It's good to hear from attorneys that do criminal and juvenile work. And it's also good to hear people from the mental health profession and the behavioral science profession.
Yeah.
That can talk to kids about mens rea and the developing brain and how sometimes, you know, the brain isn't fully developed at these young ages and the way, so those are great ideas that we should implement. But as far as the training and doing mock peer jury work, we do, Brian's got some wonderful cases that we use, and we do that quite often. So yes, I think we should talk to Brian about maybe bringing in some guest speakers. I think that could be outstanding.
It may be, you know, even worth, trying to collaborate with some of our agency partners, because I'm thinking that, you know, some of the youth organizations may have already, they may have relationships that, you know, we don't even have yet, where it might be kind of some give and take there. And I would love to have this, continue to be a meaningful, and kind of, vibrant experience for those who want to be involved.
So agreed on all counts.
Are you suggesting that in futuro, regardless of whether there's new cases coming in or not? I mean, is there a point at which?
Listen, I maybe. I feel it's a bigger question. It's
Gail
a bigger.
just said Children's Advocacy Center
Okay.
is one possibility.
Mhm. You know, I feel like it's a bigger question for another time, but it's, you know, I'm just trying to spitball ideas.
And the decennial meeting, the groups,
Mhm.
there is one that's designated specifically to look at youth, which I'm on, Elliot's on.
Excellent.
And part of that is peer jury,
Okay,
so maybe we can somehow incorporate that into our discussion with regard to that aspect of the.
that'd be awesome.
analysis. So
Great,
it is on the table.
great. Okay.
Any other discussions of the staff reports? Okay, any other new business? I had a quick question, Risha.
Mhm.
You, in my packet, there was the intergovernmental agreement with us in Northfield. That was old, correct?
That got pulled.
Yeah, but Jan has to still run that by the attorney,
Okay,
so,
it's
there's,
on the agenda.
yeah, there's still some work in the background that needs to be done with that, so.
Well, you mean item 10, the assessor's IGA, and then the intergovernmental agreement
Yeah.
between Northfield, that one?
Mhm.
Yeah, she pulled it and she said that for the time being, that we're just gonna continue to do the long time informal arrangement that works for us.
Okay.
So I took that to mean that this is going away.
Okay. Well, you knew something that I didn't know.
Oh, okay. Alright.
Thank you for telling me.
Is there any-
You were not on that email.
No.
There you go. Sorry, that was the 907 email. Apologies.
If all else fails, everybody just please CC me. I can be everywhere, please.
Is there any other new oral business? Being none, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, our next meeting is scheduled for July 9th. For some reason. Hope I can make it.
I've got it on mine. I'm good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Cool, thanks.
Bye,